Picture a beautiful wedding day. The flowers look amazing, the lights are perfect, everyone is smiling like they're watching a fairy tale begin. The couple says their vows perfectly. Everyone claps at just the right moments. Everyone thinks this is the start of happily ever after. But look more carefully. Look at the person at the altar. Not just their smile, but their eyes. There's a special kind of silence that happens inside someone's mind right before they marry someone they don't truly love. It's not a peaceful silence. It's not calm. It's the sound of a thinking mind stopping a screaming heart. From the outside, it looks like someone made it. From the inside, it feels like they disappeared. Today, we're going to understand why smart, self-aware people do this, what makes them choose someone who doesn't make them happy, and what happens to your mind when you live a lie every single day, year after year. To understand this, we need to break one big myth. People think love is why people get married, but historically, marriage was about survival. It was about getting land, protection, and safety. Love as the main reason is actually quite new, but even today, deep inside our brains, that old survival instinct still works. One of the biggest reasons people marry without love is the fear of being alone. There's a quiet clock ticking in our minds. By 30, you should be settled. By 35, you should have kids. As these deadlines pass, panic takes over. Your brain stops looking for happiness and starts looking for safety. You stop looking for a soulmate and start looking for a safe choice. Do they have a good job? Will my family approve? Do we want the same future? The thinking becomes simple. I may not love them, but they're safe. For some people, especially those who grew up without stability, this safety feels necessary. When you've lived in chaos your whole life, passion doesn't matter anymore. What you want is peace. A safe person who feels like shelter from the world. Then there's another trap that looks good on paper. You meet someone who agrees with you on everything that matters. Money, values, family, religion. You work well together. You don't fight much. You make sense. Your mind says, look how compatible we are. Love will grow. But often, it doesn't grow. It just stays the same. And that's where the real conflict begins. Here's something most people don't talk about. Many people don't marry without love because they're desperate. They do it because their brains learned early in life to confuse certain feelings with love. This comes from something called attachment. The blueprint your brain builds in childhood about what love should feel like. Some people with anxious attachment don't feel loved when things are peaceful. They feel loved when they're uncertain, when they have to earn it, when they have to chase it. So when they meet someone stable and consistent, it doesn't feel like passion. It feels like salvation. They think they won't leave me, not I desire them. Others have an avoidant attachment style. Real closeness feels scary to them. Being truly seen feels dangerous. So they unconsciously choose someone they don't fully love because a weak connection feels safer than deep vulnerability. And if someone grew up with chaos or emotional neglect, they can mix up their signals. They might mistake drama for passion. They might mistake anxiety for love. When they finally find someone safe, their mind says, this is good, but their body whispers, this isn't love. They're making a lifelong decision based on their past without realizing it. How do you know if you're settling instead of choosing someone you genuinely love? Here are 7 clear signs. 1. Relief feels stronger than excitement. You feel safe from being alone, not drawn to them. 2. Your body avoids them. Touch feels like a job. Kissing feels fake. 3. You feel lighter when they're not around. Not because you hate them, but because you can finally breathe. 4. You don't share your real self. Your real fears and dreams stay locked inside. 5. The future feels gray. It looks good on paper, but emotionally, it's empty. 6. The relationship is only about tasks, bills, groceries, schedules. Everything works except the actual connection. And 7. You fantasize about another life. Not necessarily another person, but another version of you, one who feels alive. If you see yourself in these signs, it doesn't mean you're broken or ungrateful. It means your inner world is telling the truth. Because love isn't just about compatibility or stability. Love is about feeling alive. If a relationship makes you shrink or disappear, that's not peace, that's survival. Once the wedding is over, once life becomes normal, something quiet and terrifying begins. Your mind starts fighting itself. You promise to love this person forever, but you feel nothing when they touch you. This creates a battle inside your brain. Your mind tries to win by telling you new stories. Passion is childish. Real love is duty. This is what being grown up means. But your body doesn't believe these stories. The real pain that comes next is loneliness, but a special kind of loneliness. It's being next to someone and still feeling completely alone. You can't share your real thoughts or fears. You can't be yourself. Little by little, you disappear. Conversations become only about practical things. Did you pay the bills? What's for dinner? Nothing is hostile, just empty. And here's the truth nobody wants to say. You can't think your way out of a marriage your body doesn't feel safe in. Even if your partner is kind and hasn't done anything wrong, your nervous system still registers the relationship as stress. Not loud, dramatic stress, but quiet stress that never ends. Over time, some people become constantly anxious and irritable. Others collapse inward. They're not sad enough to call it depression, but they don't feel alive either. They still go to work and smile in public, but privately, they're exhausted. They lose interest in things. They lose color. And the scariest part is they stop trusting their own feelings. They think, maybe this is just being an adult. But no. This is your body keeping score for love you never received. Eventually, a loveless marriage reaches a choice point. There are 3 possible endings. The first is companionate marriage, when both partners accept there's no fire and build something else instead. Friendship, teamwork, shared goals. It's not romantic, but it can be stable and even comfortable for some people. The second is silent hell. This is when anger turns into contempt. Small things, the way they chew, the way they breathe, start to make you furious. The home becomes emotionally toxic and the mind starts to break. The third is parallel lives. 2 people living in the same house like strangers. No big fights, no divorce, just 2 separate worlds under one roof. And here's the warning. When respect dies, the second ending isn't far behind. You can survive a marriage without passion, but you cannot survive without respect. If you recognize yourself in this, there are only 2 real paths. The first is to stay and rebuild. If there's still respect, safety, and goodwill, love can sometimes be relearned. Start with friendship, have honest conversations, rebuild emotional closeness before expecting passion. Get professional help if you can. The second path is to leave with dignity. If the marriage has become contempt, numbness, or harm, don't just escape, prepare. Build financial stability. Create a co-parenting plan. Give yourself permission to grieve, because life is short. It's better to be alone and true to yourself than together and invisible. You're not ungrateful. You're not broken. You're just human. And you deserve to feel alive. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe our channel. See you next time.